From glowing spheres over Arizona to mysterious craft falling in the most remote corners of the planet. Some of these recordings were confiscated, others were forcibly deleted from the internet. Today we dive into the most shocking UFO sightings ever caught on camera. In recent footage filmed in China, a bright white object hovered high above a mountain range. It remained almost completely motionless for several minutes, after which it slowly left the frame. Online, it was nicknamed the White Wanderer. What especially surprised people was how clear and stable the object looked. It did not drift like a balloon and did not resemble a drone. The video spread at enormous speed, leaving behind more questions than answers. On the 1st of February 2021, residents of Paraíba, Brazil, noticed a long metallic object of cigar-like shape cutting through the clouds. It moved evenly, silently, and without the slightest deviation. Witnesses emphasized that it did not behave like an airplane or any known aircraft. The calmness and precision of its movement made this sighting one of the most memorable UFO cases in the country in recent years. Late in the evening, a couple returning home noticed a dark object with one dim blinking light hovering over the road. They slowed down and began filming. The object moved parallel to the car as if watching them. It did not resemble either a drone or an airplane. After a few seconds, it smoothly went into the night sky, leaving people in complete silence. Witnesses reported a massive object hovering in the open sky in complete silence. But attention was drawn not only by its size. The surface looked artificially made, clear panels, lines, a structure resembling an engineered construction rather than a chaotic shape. The strangest thing is that the object remained visible for several minutes, but at the same time, not a single radar in the area recorded it. This gap between what people saw and what technology did not detect still confuses analysts. How could something so large remain invisible to tracking systems? A triangular object was spotted, moving slowly across the sky. Bright lights burned at its corners, blinking with perfect repeatability. Witnesses said the shape looked too precise, too symmetrical to be accidental. It moved absolutely silently. No hum, no trace. Later, aviation monitoring specialists confirmed that evening, not a single civilian or military aircraft passed along that trajectory. It is also interesting that a similar pattern of lights was observed a few weeks before that in a neighboring region. That meant one thing: the case was not isolated. On the 18th of October 2025, mine workers in the Pilbara Desert, Western Australia, discovered a burning object by a remote access road about 30 kilometers from the town of Newman. The scene was disturbing: a charred, dark structure, completely unlike anything of earthly origin. Emergency services arrived immediately. An interagency investigation began with the participation of Western Australia Police, the Australian Space Agency, and the Fire Service. The object turned out to be made of carbon fiber, a material used in rocket tanks. It is assumed that this is space debris that entered the atmosphere and fell in the desert. However, its exact origin has still not been officially established. A couple from a quiet residential neighborhood filmed a strange object over their home. It glowed, changing colors, and hovered in the sky, remaining motionless far longer than the capabilities of any airplane would allow. The lights blinked softly and evenly, as if under control, before disappearing completely. No traces, no sounds, no explanations, nothing. Researchers later noted how rare it is for an object to remain in the air without support and noise. On the 17th of March 2025, near the coast of the Gulf of Mexico, a strange object was filmed rapidly falling from the sky. The recording shows a short flash, after which the object sharply rushes downward and disappears in just a few seconds. Witnesses reported a small puff of smoke and complete silence immediately after the fall. No splash of water, no debris, no traces. Analysts suggested it could have been a fragment of a meteor, but the trajectory and speed did not match typical atmospheric entries. So what was it really? A family in Japan recorded a short video for TikTok that almost instantly spread across social media. The filming was done from an apartment window. In the frame, a large round object, motionless, hanging in the sky. Voices off camera convey confusion and anxiety. The object barely moved, as if deliberately holding position, forcing viewers to doubt whether this recording is real or whether they are looking at a digital fake. Despite numerous re-uploads and frame-by-frame analyses, a confirmed explanation still did not appear. In the Xunyi district, Beijing, a viral video captured a massive object hovering in the sky and frightening local residents. The recording was made by the singer Tang Xiao, a participant in the show Supergirl. In the background, anxious voices can be heard, whispering, "What is it?" and begging each other to keep quiet. The object remained motionless, surrounded by haze, without wings and without sound. Later, analysts put forward a version of a rare optical illusion related to clouds, but not everyone was convinced. The video quickly became one of the most discussed UFO clips in China. Recently, over Bangkok, Thailand, a box-shaped object was spotted hovering in the sky. People massively pulled out their phones, filming what was happening. The object looked solid, with clear edges, and did not resemble either a sphere or a drone. Several videos filmed from different parts of the city captured the same object, motionless, hanging at altitude. The recording caused a new wave of discussion. Given how often such objects have begun to appear, more and more people are asking, what is happening above our heads? In September 2003, tourists and local residents at the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa noticed something unusual over the coast. A glowing object hung motionless against the backdrop of clouds. People began filming it, not understanding what they had witnessed. On the recording, a shape resembling a classic flying saucer is clearly distinguishable. After a few minutes, the object disappeared. And even years later, this sighting still has not received a convincing explanation. Residents of the Dominican Republic were stunned after reports that a huge metallic object fell from the sky, crashing in hard-to-reach terrain. Witnesses described a dull impact, after which smoke rose over the crash site and small pockets of fire flared up. The surface of the object looked strange, as if welded from separate elements, uneven, charred, not at all like the materials of ordinary aircraft. Officials arrived fairly quickly, but no detailed statements were made, which only fueled a wave of rumors. Some believe it could have been a fragment of a satellite or space debris. Others are sure the object is not listed in any open registry. The uncertainty only accelerated the spread of this story across the internet. Residents of the suburbs of Phoenix were speechless when, in the night sky, they noticed several glowing spheres slowly separating from one bright source of light. The filming was done on the 19th of August 2025 at approximately 10:42 in the evening. The spheres moved unhurriedly, spreading in different directions, while the main source of light remained absolutely motionless. People came out onto their porches, filmed what was happening, not hiding their shock. It all lasted only a few minutes, but that was enough for the event to be remembered by everyone who witnessed it. A family relaxing by a river filmed astonishing footage of an object resembling a large metallic craft that had crashed at the edge of a forest. The video shows light smoke rising above the site. Approaching cautiously, people realized the scale of the find. The object was significantly larger than any vehicle they had ever seen. As soon as the family came closer, the recording suddenly cuts off. A few hours later, the video disappeared from most platforms. No official statements followed, which only increased suspicion because the recording quite clearly captured the entire incident. A fighter pilot performing a flight near San Clemente Island off the coast of California noticed a silver disc-shaped object flying literally above the surface of the ocean. It was small, but it moved with astonishing speed, calmly keeping up alongside one of the most modern U.S. combat aircraft, the F-22 Raptor. It could not have been a drone or a missile. Nothing in known technology is capable of behaving like that. But the real shock came at the moment when the object began to overtake the pilot, rapidly accelerated, and disappeared from view. To this day, no one has been able to give a clear explanation of what ended up in the lens. In a viral TikTok video, a man accidentally stumbles upon an object resembling a flying saucer, half buried in sand. Cracks on the surface reveal an internal structure, tangled cables, metallic layers, elements that look more like real mechanisms than ordinary trash. He walks around the object from all sides, filming close-up, trying to show that there is no graphics or editing here. The clips spread across the internet, causing heated debates. What was it? A carefully planned hoax or a trace of something that really fell from the sky? Write your opinion in the comments. In one of the strangest videos posted online, a faintly outlined disc-shaped object can be seen hovering over an empty field. Despite the low quality of the recording, its shape and movement look controlled. But the main thing is not that. From under the object, dark figures seem to slowly descend, moving synchronously, as if on command, before dissolving into the shadows below. No sound, no beam of light, no visible traces of interference. A short video that appeared online allegedly shows a saucer-shaped object lying in the ice in one of the areas near Russia. Drag marks are clearly visible on the snow, as if the craft slid before stopping. The video quickly went viral, but after just a few hours, it disappeared from major platforms. Not a single agency, not a single news channel commented on the situation. People had to look for re-uploads. It was precisely this sudden disappearance that made the clip one of the most discussed lost UFO videos. Many still ask who and why wanted it to vanish. Very recently over Dayton, Ohio, a mysterious object was spotted that received the name Tri-Eye Atlas. It drifted across the sky, looked unusually stable and bright, as if it was there not by accident. Interest was also fueled by a second video filmed from another area, where the same object was captured from a different angle. Moreover, NASA reported that the James Webb Telescope had previously already observed this object and confirmed it is not just an accidental light. We are talking about an interstellar guest, an object that arrived from beyond our solar system. The most incredible thing is that just 2 months ago, it was in deep space, and now it ended up in Earth's atmosphere. Many years before the appearance of eightfold cameras and neural networks, one tourist in Spain filmed on film a strange round object slowly floating over a mountain range. The filming was far from ideal, but experts later confirmed the film was not subjected to interference. This is especially noteworthy given the level of technology of that time. The place where the object appeared is located not far from one of the oldest meteorite craters in Spain. In this area, anomalous magnetic readings are still recorded. Whether this is connected to the appearance of the object is unknown, but the coincidence makes you wonder why such things happen imminent here. As the name suggests, 17 years ago in Turkey, an event occurred that to this day remains not just a mystery, but possibly the most weighty visual proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life. The video shows a gigantic flying craft in the night sky, shiny, metallic, oval in shape. In the northwestern part of the country, a series of unexplained phenomena was recorded then, and this recording became part of that chain of events. Even after detailed study by specialists, the video still could not be recognized as a fake. It remains one of the most thoroughly verified and at the same time unexplained recordings in the entire history of observations. During an evening observation of the sky, the camera captured a perfectly triangular object hovering in complete silence. Its edges were outlined by soft purple lights, blinking at the same interval and forming clear geometry. Unlike airplanes, the object did not bank and did not change direction. It just hung there, as if embedded into the darkness of the night sky itself. Such a shape immediately reminded people of the famous black triangles, which are often associated with classified military projects, but no official model matches what was seen. An ordinary evening for a group of students in the Brazilian city of Cayam suddenly turned into something strange. They noticed bright lights in the sky and at first took them for an airplane, but soon it became clear. The lights were blinking according to a strict pattern, unlike any aviation signals. The object moved calmly, its shape changed slightly, but the structure did not fall apart. The video quickly went viral, and the comments under it filled with guesses about UFOs and extraterrestrial technologies. Witnesses reported a fast object cutting through the sky and leaving a bright, fiery trail behind it. At first, it was taken for a meteor or a rocket, but the trajectory was too smooth and controlled. It did not spin, did not break apart, and did not lose speed. It moved purposefully before disappearing beyond the horizon. Experts later confirmed that on that day, neither launches nor entries of objects into the atmosphere were recorded. A night recording from Mexico sparked heated debate. The video shows an object with several glowing lights arranged in a perfect line along the bottom. Each light blinked with the same rhythm, creating the feeling of a clearly organized mechanism. The witness filming the video maintained complete silence, focused on capturing what was happening. Analysts noted that no known aircraft demonstrates such symmetry and a complete absence of noise. During a calm evening, a witness noticed a massive V-shaped object silently moving across the sky. No engines, no rotors, no wings were visible. Special attention was drawn by the absolute silence. The object seemed to glide through the air, demonstrating smoothness unattainable for familiar technologies. Some consider it a test of classified developments. Others are sure this goes far beyond earthly engineering. A recording made on the 13th of December 2020 in Mexico shows a smooth, round object hovering in complete silence before beginning to slowly descend toward a forest. The most astonishing thing is the change of colors. Soft shades of blue, green, and red appeared without a visible light source. The movement looked meaningful, controlled. The object disappears behind the treetops, and the video suddenly cuts off, leaving behind only an unsettling question. What can move so precisely, leaving no traces? A short clip filmed on a rural road in Romania became one of the most controversial online. The witness claims that seconds before filming, there was absolutely nothing in the sky. In the video, a dim metallic object hovering in the air. No movement, no sound. The person deliberately moves the camera away, showing the empty surroundings, as if trying to prove there is no deception here. Experts admit that the claim of appearing out of nowhere makes this case especially frightening. Residents of Alaska recorded a glowing object slowly crossing the night sky. Most of all, attention was drawn by a rotating light smoothly changing direction, not at all like drones or airplanes. Even at a distance, the glow remained stable, which indicated the large size of the object. Local specialists could not match its movement with any satellite or known atmospheric phenomenon. To this day, this clip is considered one of the most mysterious sightings in the region. A video filmed in Curitiba, Brazil, shows a saucer-shaped object hovering over the city skyline. It remained absolutely motionless, without sound, before smoothly beginning to move. Analysts noted that that night, there were wind conditions under which drones would not be able to maintain such stability. It was precisely this flawless stillness that made the recording one of the most convincing in the region. Viewers were amazed by footage of an object gliding over the surface of the ocean. It moved fast, but incredibly smoothly, as if it followed an invisible trajectory. A metallic gleam reflected in the water, and light ripples trailed behind the object. Then it sharply dove and disappeared under the water. Experts found no signs of editing, but the sudden submergence only intensified the mystery of what could be hiding beneath the surface. A recording from the Nevada desert sparked heated debate. The video shows three disc-shaped objects rapidly moving across the sky, behind which, presumably, F-22 fighters are following. The formation looked coordinated, and the maneuvers looked typical of a pursuit. No official comments followed, and it was precisely this that made the recording one of the most controversial and convincing in recent years. An old video recording recently discovered online shows a metallic object hovering between trees deep in a forest. The filming was done long before the appearance of digital editing and artificial intelligence tools, yet it looks surprisingly stable. The craft hangs low, not moving, without the slightest oscillations. There are no ropes, no shadows, no movement of foliage that could give away a fake. Analysts who studied the recording drew attention to the match of lighting and reflections with the surrounding environment, details that would have been extremely difficult to falsify at that time. To this day, this recording is considered one of the most convincing early captures of a UFO. On the 24th of September of this year, a resident of New York filmed a video of a glowing object hovering high above the city's skyline. As the camera moved closer, smaller lights began separating from beneath it, slowly descending along clearly calibrated trajectories. The clarity of the recording made it possible to see shapes, which caused heated debates online. Drones, signal lights, or something much stranger? Neither the time nor the direction of movement matched any registered aerial activity, leaving specialists without an explanation. In Houston, a night recording captured several lights moving across the sky in perfect formation. The witness described them as glowing spheres, silently gliding together before dissolving into the darkness. The video quickly gained popularity, but after just a few hours, it disappeared from the platform. Attempts to re-upload were blocked without explanation. This gave rise to talk about censorship and possible interference by the authorities. Do you agree with this? A recording made on the 1st of June of this year in Saigon shows something unusual appearing right during a thunderstorm. Each flash of lightning for a fraction of a second illuminated a rounded object hovering motionless above the clouds, despite strong wind and turbulence. The camera managed to capture its shape, smooth, symmetrical, clearly outlined. Experts noted that no known aircraft is capable of maintaining such stability in such conditions. Although the crash itself happened decades ago, ufologists and researchers of extraterrestrial life forms are sure it was precisely the events of 1996 that became a turning point. In their opinion, this was the first recorded moment when something non-human not only appeared in our sky, but also stayed here. Not in the frame, not in rumors, but somewhere nearby. And if everything you have seen before this was only observations from a distance, then this finale makes you think, what if they no longer fly away?